Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I'm really excited about your new book. This is your third book, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And the title is I Would Love to, But.
Yes.
So where did that come from?
The title came from what people would say to me a lot. No matter when I was doing things like when I dyed my hair or was running marathons or travelling, people would always say to me, I'd love to do that, but.
Why do we all say that? Why do we have excuses for the things we want to do?
Yeah, so it would always come with all these list of excuses that they'd have, like I haven't got the time, the money, I can't do that, I don't want to do it alone. All these different excuses would come through. So I looked at 10 of the main excuses that I heard most often.
Yeah.
And I looked at my friends who were the people that were going out doing stuff and looked at what were the differences between that. And I saw that the friends that I had that went out and did stuff, they had the same issues, but they just saw them as obstacles to overcome rather than excuses to stop them doing what they wanted to do.
Right, so when you assess those different groups of people, they face the same stuff,
Yeah.
but just deal with it differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And so how do you get past, you hear those excuses in your own head, oh, I'd love to, but how do you get past those kind of obstacles?
Well, I think even just changing them into obstacles rather than an excuse,
Yeah.
because when you look at it as an excuse, you see it as a reason why you can't do something. But if you change it into an obstacle, you then have power over it. And I think it turns your brain to start thinking of ways to overcome it rather than just cutting it off. So if you change it into an obstacle, then you can find ways to overcome it.
Great. And so tell me, you haven't had the easiest road in the world. People might say, oh, well, it's easy for you, but you've had a challenging time.
Yeah. So I kind of had a difficult childhood, and when I was 14 I became an alcoholic.
Wow.
And started drinking quite heavily, and I spent 10 years drinking and chasing alcohol to solve all my problems.
Wow.
And I got to a really desperate place, and I came through that, through coming to faith and becoming a Christian, and that road to emotional healing. And through that I had to learn to overcome all these excuses. I've used these all myself, so then I could explain how I went through them and came out the other side.
So this book is really written from the heart, isn't it?
Yeah.
So give me an idea of what to expect in the book.
Sure. So one of the excuses I look at is this excuse of I just can't do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at things and think, oh, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
Well,
And you
that's
just
not
stop.
me.
You just stop in your
stops
tracks.
you. Yeah. So for an example, when I was 12 years old, I had a teacher that I really loved at intermediate, and she was an aerobics instructor in the evening. So she had this competition in class that if whoever won the competition would get to go to her class in the evening. Ooh. So me and my friend really tried hard, and we won this competition, and we got to go to this aerobics class in the evenings. And it was in the 80s. There was a lot of lycra, kind of fluoro, lead warmers, a lot of fluoro colours. But I just loved that. I walked into that class, there was so much energy and just the colour and the music, and I just fell in love with that. And I saw those instructors and I thought, I want to do that, I would love to do that. But, and even as a 12-year-old, I thought, I don't look like those ladies. I can't do this as a job, this is just crazy. I will never be able to get up on stage and dance in front of people or encourage people or be energetic like that. So I just cut it off and put it away. And it wasn't until I got into my 40s that I went back to a dance class. I'd been running and I needed something more fun to do. Yeah. So I went back to a dance fitness class, and I started at the back of the class and trying to hide from everyone. And then I slowly moved my way to the front of the class and had an amazing instructor, and eventually ended up on stage.
Wow.
And then when the opportunity, when they started Easy Moves Dance Fitness, I was given the opportunity to train as an instructor, and I trained as an instructor, and now I run my own class on a Monday morning.
Oh, wow.
And I am an aerobics instructor, a dance fitness instructor now, and because I could do it all along, it was just at the time I thought, I can't do that.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point that you make. You can do it all along. All the things that you think, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What else stops people, do you think?
I think the big ones are time and money.
Yeah.
And they're probably the ones I hear the most.
And are they real though? People say, well, look, I don't have the money or I don't have the time. Is that an excuse or is that a fact?
Well, I think we're very busy now, but when you look at your lifestyle, I think you can usually find an hour or two in a day. And one of the things in the tips I give in the book is the idea of, if you had a 40-hour week to work on your dream once a year, imagine how much you could get done.
Oh, wow.
If I just gave you a week off and you could go and work on your dream. But that's the same as spending just 1 hour a week over a course of a year. So if anyone can find 1 hour a week,
Yeah.
get up early or go to bed later or watch less Netflix for one day.
Oh yeah.
1 hour less on Facebook. Do that and spend that working on something you want to do, whether it's a night class or whatever it is, writing a book or whatever.
Yeah.
And over a course of a year, that's 52 hours.
Yeah.
And you can make a huge dent in it. So
Yeah.
it's just even these small little changes you can make to your life that can have a big impact.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
The book is just coming out. It's coming out now, and so a lot more speaking around that and promoting the book. Yeah. And I'm sure there's another couple of books in the works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you wrote your first book, was that a I'd love to, but...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was
I felt like you're like, yeah, there was.
It was definitely something I sat on for a very, very long time, and it was because it was more my personal story of the drinking and coming through that and getting sober. It was a very long process because I had to work through a lot of my own kind of issues and feelings and stuff through that.
Yeah.
But again, it was, it was once I'd done it and put it out there, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things of when you think about the things I would love to, it's not always just about seeking pleasure and things that feel good, but sometimes even doing the hard things, the things that take a lot of hard work or really scary, like standing on stage or anything that you might find is scary, those are the things that help you grow and become a better person and give you so much joy in the long term.
Well, thanks for capturing all of that in the book. I wish you every success with it.
Thank you.